2 more. I'm not kidding. I was not kidding when I said I went on a binge. It was a binge. So I love this color with all the pinks, and there are 2 of these. Both of these are my simple cotton dishcloth. Hey y'all, welcome to the Yarn Everywhere podcast, where I share all things yarn related. I'm Nicky Avery, the crocheter, knitter, and yarn dyer behind Avery Lane Creations and ALC Yarns, and I'm so excited to share with you all of my yarn adventures. My hope is to inspire you to embrace your creativity and find joy in your making. Grab your favorite project and hang out with me for a bit. Well, y'all, it has been a hot minute since I have had a podcast go up. I have missed doing this. I have been wanting to do a podcast, but I had a really huge order, and it was just one of those things that I had to double down and focus on getting that done, or I never would have gotten it done. So I had to give myself permission to kind of let everything else go for a bit to get this done so I wouldn't overwhelm myself. And honestly, I was overwhelmed with just that order that I had going on. And I will tell you more about that later in the episode. Let me just tell y'all, this episode is going to be an adventure in itself because I don't really know. I don't know what's going on over here. It's been crazy. It's been fun, but it's been a little wild. So I'm probably doing this out of order, but we're just going to go with the flow today. So buckle up, grab your project, brace yourself because it might get a little crazy, but we'll probably laugh our way through it. So here we go. I'm going to show you some of the things that I finished. I don't really remember when or how I got these finished, but hey, it happened. Socks. I went on another sock knitting binge and I enjoyed it. Here is a pair of socks that I finished in my, what month is this? This is May, my April Yarn Club colorway. I'm pretty sure it was April. Final answer, it was April. And this colorway was irresistible, like irresistible, but iris, because the theme was floral bouquet. And I am obsessed with this color. Look at all that gorgeousness with the pops of purple and different pinks and orange. Oh, it's so pretty. So when I saw this, I knew I needed to make some socks. I knew I didn't have a whole lot of time to dedicate to socks, so I used DK weight. Because let me tell you, DK weight will make you feel like you are such a super fast knitter when you've been knitting with a lot of sock weight. So here are my irresistible. I think I'm so funny sometimes, but it really is hard to say. I really need to think about these names when I think about me having to say them. Anyways, so it's cute. I may butcher it when I say it, but I thought it was funny. So here are the vanilla socks on DK weight. And I kind of have made peace with 9-inch circulars. So this is what I do now. I use magic loop to get started, and I go ahead and do the heel. And most of the time I go ahead and do the decreases until I'm just straight knitting. And then I switch to 9-inch circulars, and I just have a merry little time just going around and around and around because I don't have to, constantly stop and switch needles and all of that stuff. And then I switch back to magic loop when I get to the toe decrease. So I really do enjoy 9-inch circulars. I just had to find my way of using them. So instead of starting with them, I do magic loop and then I switch. And let me tell you, it goes really fast when I do that. So I like it, and it doesn't make my hands cramp as much as it did before because I'm not doing the first portion of the sock. So if you've been interested in trying to knit with 9-inch circulars, you could try my method until you get used to it and just kind of find what works for you. That's what works for me. Not gonna lie, part of me wishes that I could just kind of do almost the whole sock with 9-inch circulars, but I just haven't made it there yet. So one last peek at these. And since we're on a little sock kick, I'm gonna go ahead and show you my other socks too. Another DK weight set. I, again, love these. I love the bright green with the pops of color. And I believe this was one of my March colorways. I'm pretty sure. I should have checked before I started this, but we're just going to go with this. It was either March or February. And the theme was feeling lucky. And this colorway is green for luck and color for sass. Because again, I just love coming up with colorways that kind of make you giggle a little, or they may make you roll your eyes because they're a little corny, but it's just kind of my sense of humor. So here they are. And again, this was DK weight because DK weight just makes me feel like I'm accomplishing things. And I was all about that this last like 2 months of kind of quick, mindless projects that I can just kind of feel accomplished. So here are the socks that I finished, and I'm pretty proud of them. I also realized that I was using the wrong size for my socks for me, and I'm now making the size small and they fit my feet perfectly. So that makes me so happy that I figured out my size, and I'm using less yarn too, so it's a win. So speaking of binges, I just kind of went on a knit sock binge. I also went on a dishcloth binge, and this was like crocheting and knitting. I just wanted to make all of the dishcloths. Let's go through them. This is crochet. I'll start with crochet. So this is my simple cotton dishcloth pattern, and I was just using up one of my favorite colorways. Then whenever I ran out of that color, I just went into like my scrap bin and pulled out another color and finished it. So these are gonna be for my kitchen, and I'm not gonna lie, I really like the scrappy dishcloths. Gray and pink, it's my jam. So really tickled with this one. I have another one in this really dark purple, and this is my sunshine dishcloth pattern. Both of these patterns are free patterns on my blog, and I will link them below. I really love this dark purple. I have more simple cotton dishcloths. I have 2 of these. I really love this colorway. This is all Dishy Cotton, and I can't remember the names of the colorways, but Dishy Cotton is my favorite cotton to use for dishcloths. It's like if I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby and like the Walmart brand. I actually don't think it's the Walmart brand. I think it's just one of the brands Walmart carries. What's it called? It is, help me. Peaches and Cream. There's another one too, but Peaches and Cream is what is coming to my brain. It's like if the Peaches and Cream brand, and I love this cotton, had a baby, it would be Dishy Cotton. So you get kind of like the softness, but the sturdiness. Because I feel like Peaches and Cream is, I feel like I'm working with rope. Sorry, I said it. But to me, I guess maybe I'm a yarn snob. I don't know. But I feel like I'm crocheting or knitting with rope. And then I love this cotton is so super soft, and I love working with it. But I feel like for dishes, it's almost too soft. So their baby is Dishy Cotton, and it is my go-to. I love it. They have a bunch of pretty colors. So when I buy it, like I usually buy a bunch of it. So you can see my cubby right here. Like I'm putting a really good dent in it. It was like plumb full, and it was almost double stacked too. So I put a pretty good dent in it because I want to buy some more Dishy Cotton, but I'm not letting myself until I'm not going to say I need to like completely get rid of that, because there's some colors that I'm just like that yellow and that green. And I think there's a brown one back there. And this a no. Like, what was I thinking? Anyways, so I'm going on a binge, destashing a little bit, and I'm all for it. I plan on just like having a go-to stack of these for gifts because I think they make really great gifts. And both of these are my simple cotton dishcloth pattern. might get a little crazy here because there's a thunderstorm rolling in. So if you see me stop and have like a crazy look on my face, I'm either listening, it's either like thundering really bad, or UPS might be showing up because the huge massive yarn order that consumed my life that I talked about earlier, it ships out today. Yay! So UPS is coming to pick it up. And I kind of waited a while because I didn't want to be interrupted when I started podcasting. But I'm like, you know what? I actually don't know what time. It could be this evening. So I'm just going to jump in. If I get interrupted, I get interrupted. So in case I pause a couple times and I have like this crazy look on my face, that's what's going on. Okay, scrappy dishcloth. Again, this gray color, I mean, I like it by itself, but man, when you pair it with something, it's just so, it's so pretty to me. I'm really liking these scrappy dishcloths. 2 more. I'm not kidding. I was not kidding when I said I went on a binge. It was a binge. So I love this color with all the pinks, and there are 2 of these. Both of these are my simple cotton dishcloth. I don't know why, all of a sudden that's my go-to and my favorite dishcloth pattern right now. I tend to switch between this one and my sunshine dishcloth pattern. I think what I like about this one is it's a tighter stitch. And I know when I'm washing dishes that I tend to grab these before I grab my sunshine ones. Not that I don't like those too, but for some reason, this is just my favorite right now. So that was my go-to. Are you sick of seeing these yet? Okay, this is all of the crochet dishcloths that I have. So now let's talk about the knit dishcloths. Y'all, I've been on a journey with these knit dishcloths. And I can thank my aunt for this. When they were here visiting last October, she showed me how to knit these dishcloths. And these were the dishcloths that my grandma Morton would make when I was a kid. And I remember as a kid washing dishes with these knit dishcloths. In fact, I still have one. It's like almost in pieces. And I actually put it in my cedar chest instead of wash dishes with it. I don't know. I'm one of those sentimental people. So I still have one of her knit dishcloths that has, I mean, there's no telling how old that thing is. We'll just say 30 years old. We're just going to leave it at that. It's probably at least 30 years old. And if I remember, I need to pull it out. There's a couple of her things in there that I need to pull out and show off on the podcast. But anyways, taking a trip down memory lane, it kind of all started with my grandma, and my aunt makes these now. And I'm like, oh, I want to learn to knit these dishcloths. So she showed me, and I really enjoy it. But what I don't enjoy is how wonky they are. And I can block it. I know it'll probably look better if I block it, but there's something in my brain when I go to finish off. I don't like, it's, ugh. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but they're really wonky. And I'm like, I really wanted to knit some of these for gifts, but I think they're going to end up just being mine. I was like, okay, I've made a bunch of these. Let me try some more knit dishcloth patterns and see if I like them better. I didn't like them better. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep making them. Then I had an idea that I would buy some straight needles and try it with straight needles. And I feel like it turned out a little better. Still pretty wonky. I mean, this one's really sad. Like, look at that. Look at the difference. So I'm going to try blocking them. And if I can get them to block nicely, I will gift them. If not, I'm just going to keep them. So anyways, I bought some straight needles, and it seems to be a little bit better using straight needles instead of circular needles. Then I decided that I was going to go down a needle size, or maybe it was 2. And I think that it looks a lot better. Is it perfect? No. But I feel like it looks a lot better going down. I think it was 2 needle sizes. So I feel like it looks a lot better, and it's a little bit tighter of a stitch too. I just need to get my sizing right. I am tickled that I really just enjoy this simple knit dishcloth pattern. Like, I just enjoy knitting it. I know I could technically just do, garter stitch back and forth in rows, but I really like the fun of knitting them diagonally. So I'm like, you know what? I enjoy it. I'm going to stick with it. And if they're wonky, they're wonky. So I kind of embraced it. But let me show you one of the little side tracks that I took to try a new pattern. And I like it, but half the time my brain was tired and I couldn't remember which row I was on, even though I was using like my row counters. Still, I would be like, oh, did I switch it? I can't remember. Oh, it was just, and a lot of it was just my brain power in the evenings. I just wasn't paying attention. So I like this. And if I can remember, I will post a link to this pattern. It was a video tutorial, and I'm pretty sure there's a written pattern too. Let me just show you. I think it's really pretty. I think it's called the seed stitch, but I don't remember. I really liked it, but my goodness, I probably could have made 5 of these for the time it took me to make this. And also, this isn't a tight stitch. I think this would be gorgeous as like a cowl or something to wear, but for a dishcloth, I'm just not, I don't like it. I don't want a real, I mean, when it gets wet, it's going to be floppy anyways. And there's another word that I'm looking for, but it's not coming. So I'm sure you know where I'm trying to get. Like, I don't like a really floppy dishcloth. Like, I like a dishcloth that has some sturdiness to it, as much as a wet dishcloth could have sturdiness to it. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like this would like stretch out and be like super floppy. Anyways, I'm stuck on floppy, so that's where we're going. But it's really pretty. I did enjoy making it. It's just, there's something about the knitting them diagonally that I love and enjoy, so I'm just kind of parked here for a bit. That was a lot. That was like 20 minutes about dishcloths. Sorry. But that's where I was at. I needed all of like the simple projects, and when I did have time to sit down and work on something, I wanted to work on something that I wasn't stressing me out, that I didn't have to think about, and that really just brought me joy. So that's where I was at. All of the knit dishcloths, and again, all of these are Dishy Cotton. Seriously, there are probably more of these somewhere. I just don't know where I put them. I was trying to be organized and like make piles of everything, and I'm a little chaotic, so yeah, stuff just happened. Here, all the dishcloths. There's at least 10 of them, at least. Maybe I will get organized and like post a picture on social media or something. Or if I get organized and post a picture before this video goes up, I will post a picture of this stack of dishcloths. Now let's dive into my whips. And y'all, this is kind of where the adventure is going to begin, because I don't even know. I don't even know what's in here. Like, this is my whip bag of whip bags. Whenever my husband and I go somewhere, like to town, which is 15 minutes, I'm going to have this bag and my purse, because I just need to be prepared. In that 15 minutes, I may want to work on 2 different projects, and I want them with me. Anybody else do that? Yeah. It's a whole thing. And I'm glad that my husband thinks it's cute and that he doesn't get annoyed by it, because sometimes I get on my own nerves. Like, I went hunting with him a couple of times. We went turkey hunting, and I'm like toting a chair, toting this bag, and what else? I don't even know. But I'm just like, I'm getting so mad at myself because it's so full. It like falls off my shoulder. So I'm like toting a chair, toting this bag, walking through the woods, trying to be quiet, which is an adventure in itself. And then my husband's in front of me and he's like toting everything else, and I'm getting tired and I'm only halfway there, and I'm like, why can't I just be a normal person and just like maybe put a cute little project bag around my wrist and just be happy with that? Nope. I gotta have this whole bag, and then I gotta have snacks in there, and I gotta have water in there. I'll try to remember. If I still have the picture on my phone, I will post a picture here of my snacks that got confiscated because he didn't want me to scare off the turkeys. I was really upset. And they were like, then like when they're out in the open and you know you can't have them, you want them even more. Okay, sorry. We're getting to the whips now. I told y'all this was going to be an adventure. Like, just bear with me. So let's have some fun. Oh, I know what this one is because this has kind of been my go-to lately. I love it. I love the yarn. I love the pattern. It's one of those patterns that I could just always have one of these on the hook. I'm going to put this on the floor because I'm going to drop it. So this project bag is by Bink Waffle. I love her. I think they're called dumpling bags. I love her dumpling bags. And I think the owls are so cute. And I love too that they're like reversible. So I really like the inside too. Are you ready to see the project now that I'm like showing off all the other things? So this yarn has been an adventure because I bought it because I couldn't resist it. It's gorgeous. And the dyer is one of my favorite dyers. And honestly, every time I see her yarn, I want to buy it. So here it is. I'm trying to get it right side up. Okay. This is the Juniper Cowl that I am making with the Rockstar yarn that I got from Stitchin' with Yarn. And y'all, it's so pretty. I was going to make socks with it, but we just were not getting along. This yarn with socks, actually it wasn't the yarn, it was me. I just was not enjoying it, and I think it's because of the black color. Like I wasn't seeing stitches. It was a whole adventure and just didn't go well. And then I'm like, you know what? I love this colorway so much. I feel like I want it up by my face, not down on my feet where I can't show it off. So I'm so glad that I switched to the Juniper Cowl. And it's so pretty. Also, I had 2 hanks of this yarn, and I decided that I was just going to work with 1 hank. And then when I ran out, I was going to tie it in because, you know what? I don't like weaving in the ends. So I'm just going to tell you what I did. I did one of those, what is it called? It's loading. It's not a Russian join. I don't know. I knotted that baby. I can't think of what it's called. Magic knot. Is that what it is? Anyways, I knotted that baby. And then I just started working with the other yarn like I never ran out of the other. And I'm so glad that I did that instead of alternating rows because I love how it's like, to me, it looks like it's more, holds more purple up here. And then it slowly transitioned into this, which is more of like a light blue. So I think it's really, really pretty. And I'm almost done with it. I just started the border on the bottom, and it's a crab stitch border, which I just love because it has just a little pop of detail and a little pop of texture. So I think I'm halfway done with that, and then I'll turn around and do the same thing up here. I selfishly want to keep this for me, but I kind of think it's going to be a gift. We'll see. Not going to say any more because I don't want to give it away, but I think it's going to be a gift. I don't know. I'll know more next time I podcast. But almost done. It's so pretty. And I will have links below to Christy's yarn shop because she has some really, really gorgeous yarn. And I'll also post a link below to the pattern. It's the Juniper Cowl by Tony Lipsy, and I cannot remember the name of her business. It's something Yarn Crafts. There'll be a link below. Sorry, y'all. Let's see what else is in this. Oh, I know what this one is. Oops. What is the name of it? This is a carry-all phone case that is finished. I just need to weave in the ends, and then I need to attach the strap to it, and it'll be done. I love the texture of this phone purse, and this is a free pattern on my blog. I will post a link below. I use mine all the time when I go walking or when I'm traveling at the airport. You know, you need your phone, your boarding pass, and your ID. And if you're like me, I carry a purse that has like everything but the kitchen sink in it. So for some reason, by the time like I get in the line at security until I get up to like the security checkpoint, I can't find one of the 3 things that I need. So this is super wonderful to just throw your phone in there, your boarding pass, and your ID. Usually I use my phone as my boarding pass, but sometimes I hit the wrong button and I get a boarding pass. So everything just goes in here. Super nice when you're traveling, because the whole security thing at the airport just overwhelms me anyways. And I've been flying since I was like 12 years old. It's just like, I'm just like, there's so many people yelling and they're supposed to do this. Every airport's different. I'm like, do I take my shoes off? Do I not take my shoes off? Anyways, I love this. And I'm so glad that I thought to use it for traveling, because it has been a game changer. I originally made this for my mom, and she wears hers at work. And so one of her coworkers asked her about it, and my mom asked if I would make one for her coworker. So my mom's going to be here in a couple of weeks. Yay! I actually think it's, what is today? Today is Friday the... I don't remember what today's date is, but I know it's Friday, and my mom will be here not this coming Wednesday, but the next Wednesday, 12 days from now. Wow. This, y'all get to see like the inside of my brain. Like I usually kind of like tone Nikki down a little bit, kind of keep you a little tame so I don't scare anybody, and y'all are just kind of almost seeing me in full force. You're welcome. Anyways, sorry, Mom. This has been finished since a couple of days after you told me about it, and I just haven't attached it. Maybe I should leave it out in the open so I can see it. You know what? Here's an ADHD hack. Instead of putting it in a bag that I'm not like actively working on that project, I'm going to put it in the bag with the project that I'm actively working on, and I'm going to try to make myself finish that tonight before I can work on my Juniper cowl. We'll see how it works. Sometimes I don't like to listen, not even to myself. And that's why I'm in the situation I'm in when it comes to that. Okay, moving on. I'm sure you already know what is in this project bag. I love this project bag. One of my favorites. I actually won this project bag, which I think is so cool because I hardly ever win anything. So this is a knit sock whip. Oh, I actually have 2 of these. This one's in timeout because I Nickied all over this one. Okay, so I don't know. I do not know what happened, but look how gorgeous this is. And then we'll get into the whole what happened. Let me just show you this side. This side's prettier. So I love this. I did this one-of-a-kind set a couple of months ago, and it was like a 50-gram not so mini, and then 2 minis. And I called it Speckle Love, and I had to keep one of the sets for me. So this is Speckle Love, and these socks were going to be for me. And I don't know what happened. I even have my handy dandy sock ruler. That is a, wait for it. Oops, too soon. That is a slap bracelet. I can't say slap bracelet without like yelling it and actually snaps. We're just going to put that down. I even had that and used it. I don't know. I honestly don't know what happened, but it's way too small. Like I look like I was shopping at Baby Gap and I'm trying to fit my foot in, you know, a toddler size sock. But thankfully, I have a cousin that has itty bitty tiny feet, and I think that they will fit her. So I text her and I said, what's I was like, random. They're used to me at this point. And I'm like, what size shoe do you wear? And she told me, I was like, okay, I might have some socks for you. But I'm really sad because this was a one-of-a-kind colorway, and now I'm not going to get my socks out of it. I'll be like, hey, when you wear those, send me pictures. I'm kidding. Okay, moving on. So I started another sock, and I started the, what's that called? Heel flap. Okay, going good. Super proud. Went to take a picture to put on like Instagram, Facebook, and y'all, where I added this color in, somehow instead of picking up my working yarn, I picked up the tail of yarn and started knitting with it until it ran out. So imagine my surprise. I'm just like, knitting. That is definitely not how I look when I'm knitting. It's probably more like so. But for podcast sake, we'll just say I was just smiling. And then I run out of yarn. I'm like, how is that possible? I have all of this yarn. Like, what happened? And then I realized that I Nickied it. So it sat in timeout for at least a week, if not 2 weeks. And the other night I was like, okay, I'm going to tink back. But I was at the spot in the heel where, I don't know, you just do some weird stuff. So it was at the weird stuff spot where it wasn't just as easy to tink back. Like I should have tinked back to where I decreased and then turned it around and did it that way. Because you're like rotating knit stitches and purl stitches and you're decreasing and you're just doing the really cool part of the sock that I can't explain. Anyways, and I just tinked back until I found it. And then I just got myself turned around and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. So I frogged the whole thing. And so I got it started again. But it's going to be really pretty when I finish and it'll be for somebody else. So hopefully she'll get joy out of the socks, right? But I kind of sort of remember how I dyed this yarn. I may not be able to like nail it, but I can always dye more for me. Or just get over it. I'll save the scraps for like a Juniper cowl and that'll make me happy, right? Okay, moving on. So those are the socks. It was in timeout. We're becoming friends again, and I'm sure I'll probably cast on the twin to that one soon. And I left all of the stitch markers in there so they can match exactly because I honestly don't know where my brain was at when I was sizing it. What else do we have in here? Let's see. Oh, I think this is another dishcloth. I was right. Here's another dishcloth. And surprise, surprise, it is a simple cotton dishcloth that has been sitting in there for a hot minute. This is usually the go-to pattern that I have in my purse. And I switched purses and I don't know what happened. But simple cotton dishcloth. One of my favorite project bags because the Peanuts comic strips is just another one of those sentimental things of mine. And this is from Fate's Thread. Oh, I know what this is, and I will tell you about this next. What else do we have? Oh, we have an empty project bag because that goes in a whip bag. And this is another favorite bag maker of mine. I have 2 of these. They're like 2 of my prized possessions. These are from Erin Lane Bags, and one of my really sweet friends gifted these to me, and they bring me so much joy. What else do we have here? We're getting to the bottom of the barrel. I'm so ashamed. Y'all, these are for my mom. I'm sorry, Mom. You're just going to have to pick a favorite hand, Mom. And that one's going to be warm. The other one's going to be cold. Like, swap it up. This is Pebbles Fingerless Glove. I had all these grand plans of I was going to make that one, refresh myself on the pattern, and then I was going to make the other one and make a tutorial for my YouTube channel. And then things just got really busy and I haven't done it. And so then I decided, you know what? I'm just going to make the other one and go ahead and gift them to my mom while it's cold so she can enjoy it. Now it's May and my mom lives in Phoenix, so it's no longer cold and I got 5 or 6 months to get it finished before it gets cold again and then she can actually like enjoy them. So here we are. Well, I think that's it. I did find my other slap bracelet sock ruler that needs to go in my other bag. Oh, I haven't shown you that yet. Okay. Wow, if this is your first time watching the podcast, I apologize. I'm usually not this scattered brain. It's been a while and yeah. So just bear with me. I'm usually not this annoying. The project bag that I'm missing, I accidentally like pushed off the other side of my desk because it's like piled up with stuff. Crazy. I think I hear UPS. So excited. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I cannot tell you how excited I am that the wholesale order is gone and on its way. So, whew. I did grab my project bag with my other sock whip in it. And this is one of my friend Cheryl's colorways from her yarn subscription box. And I can't remember the name of it. I think it was from March, but it's really pretty. And I'm making these for my mom. I don't know what is going on with my sock knitting journey lately, but I may end up frogging these. I really don't know what I'm doing when I'm decreasing right here, but you see that? Like it's just looking holy. I don't know. I don't know if I'm slipping the wrong way. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm debating on frogging these because I'm just not liking these. And I also think it's the needles that I'm using. These are like mini needles. I bought them before I knew that much about knitting needles. I just thought that all the Xiaogu brands were the same. And these end up being like, I don't know, they're mini. So the cord is like super, super thin. And these are like a little bit shorter. So I think my tension is off compared to the needles I normally use. I've been thinking for a hot minute that I was going to frog these. And I just kind of kept going. But the more that I look at them, I'm kind of thinking I may do that and then just hide these needles for myself so I won't use these for socks anymore. I only have that much done, which is a lot with sock weight. So I'm kind of sad, but I'm just not that tickled with them. There's also another gap. I don't know if you can even see it on camera, but right here, it just doesn't look as good as the other side. It's just really loose. And I might just be super picky because they're not for me. But that's the story. That's what's going on with that one. And I'm going to put that in there. One more whip and we are moving on. This one has been bringing me so much joy, but I haven't had a lot of time to go through my worsted weight yarn scraps, so I haven't really dedicated a lot of time to it. Another weird thing I'm kind of doing with this blanket is even though it's a scrappy blanket, I'm trying not to do more than 2 rows of a color. And then sometimes I still have a lot of scrap yarn left, so I wait a while and then I'll like add it back in. Now when I'm in the yarn room and dyeing, every once in a while, I'll take like a worsted weight mini and just throw it in the dye pot or throw it in another pan and just use it to like wipe up excess dye or something like that. So I'm also adding in some of those in here. So that's kind of fun. This is where I was at the last time I podcasted, which was a month ago, maybe more, not sure. So I really haven't worked too much on it. But it's so pretty and it's so soft. I think I'm about halfway to the size that I want it to be. I also have this blanket ladder that I bought from a guy. It was one of my old customers at the pharmacy. He is a woodworker and makes a lot of amazing things. And he had some blanket ladders for sale. And I bought one and it's unfinished. Like it needs to be stained or painted or something like that. So that is on my list. I want to just faux finish it. Thinking about staining it like a gray and then dry brushing white over it to just give it that antique look. Not really sure, but I know I want something like that. And then I'm probably gonna like take a chain and stuff like that and just kind of like beat it up a little bit to make it look really old. So that's my idea, and that's what I have pictured in my head when I picture this finished, is laying over that like rustic old looking blanket ladder, and then I want to make more to go on there. So that's kind of what I have pictured in my head. So this is my granny stripe blanket that I am making with my worsted weight scraps. Well, those are all the things that I have been working on the last few weeks as far as crochet and knit projects. And you've heard me several times talk about the huge order that I have been working on. So I have been given permission to tell a little bit about the order. I can't share the colorway with you, but Twice Sheared Sheep reached out to me several months ago and asked if I would be interested in dyeing the yarn for their summer surprise box. Of course, I said yes. So I worked on some samples for them and they picked out what they wanted and we just went from there. So I dyed 750 skeins of yarn for their surprise boxes, and y'all, I'm a small-time dyer. Like that's huge. And if you know me and you followed my yarn dyeing journey, you know that like I don't dye the same colorway over and over again. Like you better get it while it's in stock because I may not dye that yarn again. Like in fact, my yarn club, which is my monthly hand-dyed yarn subscription that I send out every month, has 3 different colorways each month because I don't like dyeing the same yarn color over and over again. Like to me, it's so fun going in there and coming up with different colorways over and over again. So one dye day will be one color. Well, the next dye day is going to be another color. And one, it keeps it fun and fresh for me, but also not everybody has the same color preferences. So it's kind of fun for my yarn club too, because colorway number 1 may not be their favorite. And so I kind of know what they like. So I'm like, ooh, when it comes time to pick their yarn, I'm like, this one's going to be for them. They're going to like this one better than this one, which takes me a ridiculous amount of time to pack up yarn club, but I enjoy it. I always try to pick like the perfect yarn for that person. So it's just kind of my style and my personality. So for me to tackle a 750 skein order that are all the same colorways was like a huge thing for me. So it was an adventure and I'm worn out. Like my everything hurts, y'all. Like I'm tired. I am tired, but it was fun. Such a great opportunity. I really like Twice Sheared Sheep's products that I use. I am an affiliate for them. They reached out to me last fall and I got to chat with the owner. I think the owner is fantastic and her assistant is super sweet too. So I really loved having this opportunity to come alongside another woman-owned small business and collaborate with them. And if you follow me on social media, you'll realize that I haven't been as present and I just kind of like shut everything down because that's really just what I had to do in order to get this out on time. So even though it was fun, it was life consuming and I'm glad it's over and it is now on the way to them. And now the waiting begins for people to start receiving their summer surprise boxes. Like I can't wait. I hope that people will tag me in their posts when they get it. And I can't wait to see what people do with their yarn and all of the amazing goodies that are in the summer surprise box. Let me tell you, it's good. It's good. I love it. Real quick, in case you want to know, the summer surprise box, you can pick if you want it for crochet only, knit only, or if you want a mixture of both. And I know the last time I talked to them, which was a few weeks ago, there were only 50 left. So I'm sure there's even less than that now. So I will post an affiliate link below if you want to claim one of those. I know they ship out in June. Not sure exactly what day, but from that affiliate link, I'm pretty sure they have those details on their website. So just wanted to tell you about that amazing opportunity. Now let me share with you some of the things that I got in. I'm going to try to make this really quick because y'all, this is already a longer than normal episode, but it's been a while.
I understand.
She does not like me. I wasn't talking to you, dear. Okay. I mentioned earlier when I was showing you the knit dishcloths, whatever those are. I mentioned earlier when I showed you the knit dishcloths that I bought some straight needles, and y'all, I'm impressed. Like, I did not think I would like these, but I really like them. Of course, they're hot pink. What's not to like? But these are Knitter's Pride Zing. Pretty sure they're called Zing. You just have this like satisfying zing to them when you're knitting, and I like it. My husband does not like it. They almost got confiscated in the turkey blind. He was like, you can't knit in here. I'm like, excuse me? I'm gonna do it. So then I'm just like, I end up switching to crochet because I could just feel him looking at me. And plus, you know, I didn't want to ruin his turkey experience. So anyways, I liked these so much that I ended up buying an entire set of them. But here's my story. My gauge was too loose with the knit dishcloths, and I didn't know exactly what size I needed. And if I were to buy like 2 or 3 other sizes, I would have spent the same amount. So I just went ahead and bought an entire set. And I have them in this really cute bag that I got from Arkansas Yarn Co. They come in a really nice case. These won't stop zinging. Okay. They come in a really nice case, but y'all, I don't know if it was just, I don't know what it was, but I kept smelling like, I thought like I had like an electrical fire or something. And I'm like, what is that smell? And it went on for at least a few weeks. And then finally, like, I was like, okay, what is going on? I have an OT lamp. I think that's what it's called. I have an OT lamp next to my chair. And I'm like, okay, is it this? So I'm like, I'm embarrassed. But I'm like sniffing the lamp. I'm like sniffing all the things. I'm like, okay, is there an electrical fire? Like I was getting worried at this point because I would only get a hint of it every once in a while. Well, come to find out, it was the case. Anyways, I put it outside in the sunshine. I sprayed it. I cleaned it. I did all this crazy stuff and the smell would not go away. So I dumped all of the knit needles in this bag and threw the case away. I'm kind of sad because the case was really nice, but I could not deal with the smell anymore. Here's the set. If you are looking for some straight needles, I cannot recommend these more. They're pretty and they're really comfortable to use. So, and they're satisfying. Just that zing noise, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It might get on your nerves, but I enjoy it. So I will post, I got them on Amazon and I will post an Amazon affiliate link below in case you want to check them out. Also, my husband and I decided, I don't remember what day it was. It was a couple of weeks ago. We decided that we would rearrange our living room furniture. And I'm glad that we did because I was out of room in my house when it came to this order, like literally. You had to like kind of shuffle when you walked in my house because I had yarn hanging everywhere. My living room looked like a warehouse. I had bare yarn stacked up. So we were just out of room and, we just decided we wanted to rearrange our living room. So, and I love it. I really love the way that it is now, but my lighting situation is even worse. So my Lumos knitting light or crochet light has been one of my favorite things right now. And I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I wanted to bring it up again because they gave me a discount code and I want to say it's 25%. I'll put the information below. I can't remember anything right now at this point, but I want to say it's like 25% off. I'm going to post that link below and I absolutely love this thing. It's comfortable. The other thing that I really like about it is that you can have a different light setting on this one than on this one. Plus you can like have it at different angles and I really enjoy it. I do wish they had them in different colors though. That's the only thing. But I'm kind of glad they don't because then I would buy another one and I don't really need another one. I don't know. Maybe I do need another one. Anyways, so I wanted to share this with you, especially since I have a discount code now because I'm one of those people, like, I don't want to pay full price for anything. Like, I want a discount. I'm just so weird. There was something else I was going to say about this, but I forgot. So we're going to move on. Super excited about this other thing that I got in, and I almost couldn't contain myself because Christy started posting pictures of this yarn and videos of this yarn before it was for sale, which is so mean. I'm just kidding. I do the same thing. Anyways, and I'm like, I need that yarn. Then finally they started teasing and saying it was going to be May 1st. And I'm like, is it May 1st yet? Finally, on the 1st, I was able to buy one. And it was a collab with one of my favorite yarn dyers. Christy was Stitching with Yarn. How pretty is that? Now, we're not going to talk about this one, okay? Because we know it's not my cup of tea. But the set is beautiful. Christy knocked it out of the park and it goes perfectly with the project bag. So I love this theme. I love flowers. It's just all the spring vibes. And look at the inside of this bag, which is super cute. Look how cute. I mean, she nailed it. I mean, the colors, everything just goes perfectly together. Definitely thinking these are going to be some socks. And this is my third project bag from Barley and Purls. I really like this size because it's perfect for socks. I have another big one that my granny stripe blanket goes in, and I think I showed it off in the last podcast. I really like their project bags. They're lightweight, but they're really great material. So I thought it was so cool that they collabed together and, you know, got more of my money because I can't resist Christy's yarn and I can't resist their project bags. I think Christy has sold out of these kits, but I think Barley and Purls still has some, so I will link to their shops. I'll link to both of their shops below. Also, I call them Barley and Purls, but it's Barley Purls. So if you're looking them up, it's Barley Purls, but for some reason, I feel like there needs to be an and in there, and this is just a Nicky thing. So super cute. I couldn't wait to get these in, and look at, I mean, it's just perfect. I also have 2 months of row 1 to show you. I'm just going to do this real quick. I had these in orders, but now I confused myself and I don't remember which one is which. I'm pretty sure this is the one that I just got in. I'm pretty sure this is May's. And these are just little mini hanks of fingering weight yarn that I have no idea what I'm going to do with. I'm leaning towards some type of blanket or maybe a Juniper cowl. I'm not sure. I absolutely love the colorways from May. They are so pretty. I think this one is definitely a favorite. And of course, this one. But they're all so pretty. Where's this one? I really like this one too. And this yarn was dyed by Rising Tide Fiber Co. I need to keep this in here because I want to go follow them on Instagram. Super pretty. I just love these little minis. I think they're adorable. I can't resist them. This is my 3rd month getting them. And I need to find like some big jar to put them in. So one of my yarn club members, we had a chat night a couple weeks ago, and it's like a Zoom chat, which is so fun. This is our 2nd time doing it. It was really a lot of fun. And she said that she's been getting them for a really long time. And I'm like, well, what do you make with them? She's like, I don't make anything. I just have a big glass jar that I put them in. And I'm like, that's genius. That's like super cute. So now, thank you, Robin. I am now on the hunt for a big glass jar because I'm actually thinking about making it a centerpiece on my kitchen table. I probably have to sweet talk my husband into that one. But at this point, I think he has just totally embraced that we actually live in a yarn shop and not in a house. Like the yarn shop just allows us to live here at this point. So I think he's fully embraced it. There's just going to be yarn everywhere. And, you know, he's cool with that. He picks his battles. Anyways, row 1 minis. This is from Rising Tide Fiber Co. And I love these colors. Let me know, do you get a row 1 mini subscription? Or if you did, what would you make with all of your little minis? It's all fingering weight. Okay, and I believe I dropped one. I don't know what this is either. I believe this was April since I got them backwards. And these are really pretty too. These were dyed by Homestead Fibers. And I just keep going to this one. I think it's really pretty. So this month, which was April, right? Because this is May. Pretty sure this was my 2nd month. And it was 2 months in a row that I got some with brown. But hey, you know what? That's just part of it. Like when you get it like a surprise subscription, sometimes you might get colors you're not crazy about, but it's okay. Even with mine, like I try my very best to know what each member's preferences are and try not to send them yarn in colors that they don't like, but sometimes I just don't nail it. So anyways, there's brown in this one too. And I'm not going to lie, open it up. I was like, oh, brown. But I think though, this is the thing. It still ties in with a lot of the other colors. So in a project, paired with the right thing, it won't stick out to me like a sore thumb. Like I won't be like, oh, brown. It'll be like, oh, that is really pretty. Those other colors are really pretty. And I'm not focusing on that color. Anyways, I am too much sometimes. So here's the other minis. And I'm literally just stacking these up over here until I either find a jar or find a project. I'm kind of thinking about knitting a jelly roll blanket with them because I love the look of it, but it's probably really easy and I'm making it way more complicated in my brain than I need to, but I'm super intimidated by that blanket. I'm like, how do they join them together? So my other idea is to do one big giant granny square that you just start in the middle and you just keep going until you don't want to do it anymore. So that was my other idea. Let me know what you would make with your minis. So that's all the fun stuff that I got in that I remember that I got in. Let me jump into yarn news. Right before I started the wholesale order, I did a really huge shop update and I had been hinting at a mini adventure set. I'm really sad that I just could not podcast to show y'all the mini adventure set because I was super proud of it. There were only 2 and they were sock weight and it was a set of 10 20-gram minis. And y'all, I'll have to post a link because I know I did a couple of reels with them. So I'll post a link to the reels so you can see them. I am so proud of myself because one, I didn't keep a set for me because I really wanted to. I really wanted one of those sets. But I had been teasing about it and hinting up to it. And I didn't want to just have one. I mean, it was bad enough that I only had 2, but I didn't want to just have one. So I did keep a few for me because I am a little bit selfish. I needed a few of those colorways. So I did keep a few of the minis for me, but I didn't keep a whole set. Anyways, I put together so many other mini sets, like with only 5, and I have a few left. So I'm going to show you these because I'm super proud. And I just have a thing for minis. So all of my sock weight and DK weight minis sold like that night, but the worsted weight, I still have a few worsted weight. And I am not going to lie, like I want this red. I want that red for my blanket. But so far I have resisted, and I honestly think the only reason it's still available is because I've been too busy to crochet. Oh, there's 2 of them. Or are there? So anyways, these are some mini sets that I have. I only have worsted weight still, and they are in the yarn shop now. So I did a shop update for my yarn club members because they get first chance at any of the yarn I have for sale. And then I did another shop update, and I really feel bad. Could not share it with my podcast people, but it was just one of those things where I probably could have recorded a podcast, but I wouldn't have been able to edit it, so it wouldn't have done me any good. Anyway, so I've got minis. I also have, I think I showed these off, but I'm not sure. It's called Corally Mine. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with it. I have a few of these in stock. I think I'm sold out of sock weight, but I'm pretty sure I have some DK and worsted weight. And then Bloomtastic. Oh, I love this one too. You know me, all the speckles. This was inspired by my yarn club colorway. So I can't remember which month it was. I think it was April, which was Floral Bouquet. And one of the extras for my premium members was a mini hank of yarn. And this was the colorway I did for my premium extras, my premium members extras. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's got to be on a big hank of yarn. So then I just dyed a whole bunch of this, and I love it. And I know I still have some of these in stock too. And I have another hank of yarn hidden under here because I want to get your opinion. I really want to get your opinion about pairing these together. Because in my head, before 2 of these were dry, I was like, oh, this is going to be a gorgeous set. But now I'm not so sure about, I know I want to pair these together. Let me just start with that. I know I want to pair these together. I just think they're so pretty. And I think with the speckles and worked up, I just think it's just going to be a gorgeous pairing. But I think I'm taking a gamble with this other one. So let me know. I think it's too much, which is super weird for me because I feel like the way I pair yarn, most people wouldn't pair those yarns. Like I like contrasting. I don't always like matchy, but I just don't think it works. As badly as I want it to, I don't think this set works. But I have a shawl that I want to make, and I'm going to butcher this name. I say it's Laelia shawl, It's Laelia, and it's by Gotham Knits, and it's such a gorgeous shawl. And that it's a triangle shawl, and that's what I wanted to do with this set. But I don't think that one's working. I'm kind of thinking I may need like something with a purple. I know I probably should do a tonal, but I don't think I want to do a tonal. I think I want to do a variegated. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to make that shawl, and I need a third hank of yarn, and I don't think it's working. I think these two might work, but I don't know. It might. I don't know. Anyways, that's where I'm at with this. I did selfishly keep this set for me. This is actually another hank of Irresistible from April's Yarn Club. I kept one on DK weight and I kept one on sock weight because I knew I wanted to make a shawl with this, but here we are. I also have, I'm just going to real quick show you a couple more colorways that I have in the shop. This is Pansy Parade. This is a one-of-a-kind colorway. I got some new yarn colors in because I had to order dye for the big order that I was working on, and I'm like, oh, I can't just order dye without getting a couple new colors. So I just kind of jumped in and played around with some of the new colors, and I really like it. This is Watermelon, and I think it's my new favorite red. I can't remember if I showed any of these off in a previous episode, so I'm not going to go through all of those, but I will post a link to my yarn shop below if you want to check out what I have available. And if you place an order, in the notes section of your order, put podcast, and I will throw a really cool freebie in there for you. All right, y'all, if you made it this far, thank you so much. You are a trooper, and you must really love me a lot because it's been a lot this episode, but it's been a while. I have so missed this. I honestly wish that I could do this full time. Like I could just knit and crochet and dye yarn and just show it off and have a weekly podcast. And one of these days, maybe I will be able to have a weekly podcast, like every week, be consistent. But right now it's just a little chaotic. So I'm just fitting it in when I can, and sometimes they're just going to be long. So thank you for hanging out with me. I am hoping that I will have another podcast next week, but our 14-year-old little cousin is going to be staying with us for a couple of days next week. Well, I think like 4 days. So that's going to be interesting. My husband and I don't have children, so it's going to be super fun to have. I guess I probably shouldn't call her a child because she's 14, and I don't think that's proper, but we're going to have a young adult. We'll have a teenager in our house, not a young adult. Although I feel like they feel like they're a young adult. Anyways, whole different story. We're going to have a teenager in our house, which is going to be super new for us. And it's going to be fun. I'm planning on a pizza night. I love to get like French bread and cut it in half and then get all the fixins for pizza. And then you can like make, like I'll cut that in half again, like cut it in half long ways, cut it in half this way, and each person get their own section. You can make your own little pizza. It was something we did as a kid. And I loved pizza night because I could have what I wanted on the pizza. I don't know. It was just something we did as a family that still sticks with me to this day. So I'm super excited that we're going to have like a pizza night and stuff like that. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to podcast. I don't know how chaotic it's going to be. Plus, I'm trying to get my yarn club dyed, dried, and shipped out because the week after that, my mom's going to be here and I'm so excited. Also, a little freaked out because my guest bedroom is like my yarn storage, and it's bad, y'all. Like it's scary to go in there right now. And my office is even scarier. Like it looks like it's all kind of together in here, but it's like a maze to get here to this spot in the room. It's bad. Like I need a full week off to just like organize and clean, and I haven't had that. So I'm going to have to take the stuff from that room and shove it in here. Oh gosh, I'm going to have to do that before my mom comes because my cousin's coming. I need an adult and chocolate. Yeah. Anyways, it's just going to be interesting. I don't know where I was going with that, but I felt like it was really important to tell you. Oh, so that may be the reason why I don't podcast. And then my mom and I are going to be going to Wisconsin to her brother's house where we have a big family reunion every year for Memorial Day. I can't wait to be with family because it just brings me so much joy to hang out with all of them. And then we'll be there for that weekend. And then my mom's going to come back and stay the rest of the week here with me. And I'm hoping we're going to get in the dye room because the last time my mom was here, we came up with some really, well, my mom came up with some really cool colorways. I'm looking forward to that. So I know it's been a hot minute, but maybe another hot minute before our podcast again. So thank you for hanging out with me. And until next time, keep those hooks and needles busy creating what brings you joy. Happy yarning. Bye for now.